Dr. H. Wainhouse is the Distinguished Research Professor of Theology, Law, Culture, and Archaeology at Faith International University and Seminary in Tacoma, Washington. He and his wife Irina have taught and directed many tours in the Mediterranean and Middle East, including Israel, Greece, Egypt, Jordan, Italy, and Turkey, particularly with the Biblical Archaeological Society. Dr. House has taught biblical and theological studies at several universities and seminaries during a teaching career of over 50 years and has written 150 articles and 50 books, including the Evangelical Dictionary of World Religions, The Jesus Who Never Lived, Exposing False Christs and Finding the Real Jesus, the Zondervan Handbook of Biblical Archaeology, Israel, the Land and the People, an Evangelical Affirmation of God's Promises, and editor of the Nelson NKJV Study Bible and Nelson New Illustrated Bible Commentary. Dr. House is the general editor of the Evangelical Exegetical Commentary Series, 44 volumes, with logos, Faith Life. It is the knowledge amassed from these experiences, along with the assistance of biblical scholars at a variety of universities and seminaries throughout the world, that provides the information contained in his latest project, the House Visual Study Bible Online. Thank you for joining Archaeology and the Lands of the Bible with Dr. H. Wainhouse.
And welcome and greetings to tonight's installment from the what are we, the fellowship? Go ahead. The Fellowship of the Book.
Of the book, yes, sir.
The Fellowship of the Book. And we have Gandalf himself sitting off in the corner here. And he will be taking over next week. Dr. Williams will be taking over for 7 weeks. We're going to go through J. Gresham Mason's book, Christianity and Liberalism. So if you do not have a copy, order one. In fact, if you go to our website, midwestoutreach.org, and look at our book section, you can order one right from there. Or you could even get a PDF for free online if you look around for them. They're pretty available. Good book, very important book, largely because, as Dr. Williams pointed out before we started here, the church is making the same mistakes today as it was in the early 20th century. And I would point out that the church is making the same mistakes today as it did in the first century. And the first century was making the same mistakes that the nation of Israel was making all through the Old Testament. So they're all the same mistakes. They're just being replayed over and over and over again.
Yes.
False teachers coming in, taking over, redefining terms, and claiming that they are the one true mouthpiece for religion. So, but tonight our little fellowship is on the rocks again. As Dr. H. Wainhouse takes over to talk about archaeology and the cities of the Jordan Valley.
Yep. Don't forget to unmute.
That's what we're doing. So, Dr. House, would you like to say anything, or should we just launch right in?
Well, are you letting me take it over now? Is that what we're doing? Or
yeah, well, for a moment, as long as you behave.
Well, I just want to be sure what I'm supposed to do,
Yeah.
I thought I would take it over. If you have some PowerPoint that you have from me, we're going to look at, there's so much more I'd like to talk about, but there's just not time. I said the Jordan Valley, that's basically dealing with the issue of the Jordan River, and it's to the west of that, over against some other sites that we've been looking at over in Jordan. So I thought we'd just deal with, Jericho, and that's very familiar to us. I'm not going to go back and talk about Joshua and Jericho. We're going to talk about the site in the time of Jesus, really. We have some interesting things we can look at. I don't think I'll have time. I put just a little bit, sort of just an introductory thing to Qumran, but it may be time will run out, and we won't do that, and we'll look at that another time. So let me just, if you can get the PowerPoint going.
I can. We don't have to sing Joshua fit the Battle of Jericho or anything like that.
What?
Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho. We don't have to sing that
song. That? I know the song. I know the song.
Yeah, there you go.
There.
As a final Goodbye.
See, that's the thing. Wherever you go, there you are.
There you
That's
are.
Jericho was important in Israel's history. This is the
Mhm.
first place they really came to in the land, and took that city over. Um, so some interesting things about Jericho.
Yep.
Yes.
So I can. Oh, there, good. We have slides. That's
There.
We're gonna just slide right in there.
Absolutely.
okay.
We're good at
I tried to
sliding.
pick out some places. That uh, you can talk about a lot of these sites for a long time, but I'm not going to do that. What we're going to do is introduce you to the puzzle, so to speak, the archaeological puzzle, the ancient roads in the city of Jericho. Now, if you've ever gone from Jerusalem to Jericho, it's a drop all the way to the area of the Dead Sea, and Jericho is a low area. So let's go ahead and move into the first slide where we can look at this. I like to put the maps where you can sort of see perspective. We talked about, as you well know, we talked about Tal Hammam over the city of Sodom, and that was on the eastern seaboard. As we're looking at the map here, there's not really a sea on the other side there, but nonetheless, it's the area of one of the cities of the Decapolis is connected to some of the ones we're looking at right now. Remember we talked about Scythopolis?
Mhm.
Beth Shean. So you're going to need to come on down. You can't see it now, but we're going to be coming down the Jordan River from the Sea of Galilee all the way to, it says, the Dead Sea, and to the left is Jerusalem, and just to the top, and go to the next slide where we can get it all in. That's not very visible, is it? It's better for me when I was looking at it. But anyway, you can see just above the tip of the Salt Sea, the Dead Sea. There's a little bitty thing that says Jericho, so it's just barely on the other side. And I know when I've done
Right here.
digging at Tahal Mam over in Jordan, you can actually look directly over and you see Jericho. It's sort of about the same area. So that's where we're at. Jericho is right there. So
There you
Right
go.
there.
now show Jerusalem is to the left a little bit and down, and you'll see the city of Jerusalem. It's not that far
Right here.
from yes, right there, and it's you Bethlehem right below that. And you go on down, you have other cities that we know about where Abraham lived and so forth. But that's Jericho's in the right above the area of Jerusalem. By the way, Jericho in modern times has been interesting because even though the Palestinian Authority wanted to exercise power over these places, uh, Jericho became an important place for the Jews. The reason why is because they had a big hotel there and they had a gambling area. It's just like being in Vegas.
Oh.
So
Uh-oh.
living there kind of is a gamble anyway. So.
For
and
sure.
so whenever they finally made an issue and wouldn't let people in, the Jewish people in, that really hurt the economy terribly.
Mm. Yeah.
I have stayed in Jericho actually in that hotel. It's interesting. I didn't stay when they were gambling. Okay. Now another view. See, there it is, just a little bit to the northwest, and Jerusalem down to the southwest. So you can sort of get an idea where the city is now. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens is that the Jews, excuse me, I should say it another way. The people of the Exodus, as they moved up, they came up the edge there, and they came up and went across to Jericho. They actually didn't go through the land of Israel as we think about it. And so they actually ended up going across there at the river that takes them into Jericho.
Right. Right.
Continue on.
Okay, so they came. So this is the river
That's-
coming down here. There's
That's
Jericho.
yes, that's Jericho, and you can come south. You're going south in the Jordan River. Of course, that's the Sea of Galilee up above you there,
Right.
Lake Kinneret, according to how you want to say it, Yom Kinneret, above it, and then of course below it is what in the Old Testament is called the Salt Sea, but we've gotten to the use of the word sea, the Sea of the Dead Sea, because everything in there is dead. If you jump in there and probably try to make it, if you can float long enough, you're good. But it wouldn't be a good place to go down. I don't know if you really could go down. I've bobbed up in it a lot of times. I've never tried to go under.
So it's really the stay alive scene if you go in
Now,
there.
this is a picture I took thousands of years ago.
Of course.
This is actually what it looks like before the Israelites came.
There you go.
And so this is the best shot I could come up with.
Good angle.
Something.
It's a very
Because
good angle.
it would have been, a large, have a city wall to protect yourself. And remember, where did the two people, or at least the person that hid the spies, where did she live?
She
You
lived
lived up
She
on
lived
one
in
of
the
the
wall.
walls.
Yeah, in the wall. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Of people living in the walls. You have that also in David City
Right.
in Jerusalem. There's a place that a person actually had a house built right there on the wall. And I don't think I'd want to be on the wall if I saw an army coming.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's what it was.
Maybe the rent was cheaper.
It may have.
Well, or maybe she's part of the upper crust.
Casualty insurance must have been terrible.
Does anybody know who the woman was that hid the spies?
Rahab.
Starts with an R. Right?
Rahab.
Yeah, Rahab. Good, very good. Of course, MJ, I expect you'd always come up with the answer. You're an A+ student.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, you can sort of get a perspective because we're about to go look at something that's not as obvious. This right here is at the 1 mile mark, so to speak. If you go there, you can get your picture made on this this camel or one like it. And oftentimes when I've taken tours and we go down this way, a lot of people want to get out and sort of take pictures of the site, and that's the last. There's actually, I was going to say the last part of humankind going down the road there, but I just thought when I was there last time, there was a Bedouin camp on the far right. It wasn't a big conglomeration of them, but somebody had set up home there.
Oh.
Anyway, that's where we are. We're right across from the road we're going to go on that takes us down to Jericho. Now, if I wanted to go just down this paved highway and not go the archaeological way, you just go on down until you're right down there close to Qumran and the Dead Sea and all of that below you. But
cool.
Anyway, that gives you perspective. Now, what I want to show you here, and I actually worked on these slides to try to give you a feeling for moving through the project. Because if I had them just all mixed up, you sort of lose a sense of coherence and understanding what's going on. So if you notice there, where I'm standing before I took this picture, is an area, and you have a wadi below, a deep creviced area below. And to your right there, you can see a pathway. Can you see the pathway that goes through the mountain there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very small here, and you'll see it bigger in a moment. But that's a pathway that goes the Jericho Road, taking to the city of Jericho.
Oh.
So if you want to sing the song right now, we'll go for it. On the Jericho Road. Okay, ready? So moving down this way, I actually have done some of this. So not normally. Normally I went down the faster way, but I thought I really need to go and look at this a little differently. So let's keep moving, and I'll show you the road here in a moment.
Was this the road that they used way back then, or is this kind of modern?
Yeah. I don't know if there were multiple roads. There is a road on the other side going to a monastery, but that's a highway. It's not a big one.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
So Hope and Crosby didn't make a film, The Road to Jericho, did they?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get in the wadis. Wadis are dangerous.
Or what do you know?
No, they really are.
What do you know?
Yeah.
So this is another perspective of it in the mountains. You can see the crevices. Yeah. You can look over to the right here, and you can notice that's the area how it looked when you saw the camel. Think about the camel and what was behind it, and look through this little portion at the top right, and you would see then that is sort of moving toward the south, where the camel was. So we're heading now in the north area.
Oh,
Again, it's pretty rugged through here. You can see little pieces of, not as obvious here, but there's a road that goes through there. Continue on. You'll see it's going to show up real soon. There we go. This is a road that takes you through that whole area. To the left, you would see, if you went there, you would see the wadi that's below it. But it's not a wide road, sort of like the ones in Ireland. Anybody ever driven in Ireland?
no.
Let me see your hand. Anybody? I mean, Ireland is terrible to drive in.
Yeah.
You get these little bitty old roads, and invariably somebody wants you to move to the side to let them by.
Oh boy.
It's very, very hard in Ireland. Yeah, but these roads aren't very big, but they're sufficient.
Well, in Chicago, the roads are wide, but they still try to run you off. So
That's true. Doesn't matter, no matter what.
But these were not paved in the days of Jesus.
Okay.
Okay. You can see again different portions of the mountain. See how irregular these are. There's a lot of land behind what you're looking at, and you can see if you look real carefully a little road going there up to
There
the
it is.
right. Can you see it?
Yep.
So this shows you from different vantage points as you're going through here, and they sort of weave and do like this as you're going through the place.
Gotcha.
I don't know why they didn't just build it straight
it's
through.
kind of interesting terrain here. You've got this, whatever's going on
Yeah.
here, and looks like this is almost carved out of something.
It's
Yeah. I think the Roman soldiers were really lazy around here. They built a really nice road through here.
You would think.
Okay, here's some that's portions of it. Again, some is more today paved, some is not. Now we get to these are all be paved from now on, I think. So you're going up here. By the way, last time I went through here, there was a person right on the left selling merchandise. And I thought, do you get that much business here?
Yeah, right. Depends what they're selling.
Oh,
Water.
it was you. It was you selling stuff.
There's the salesman right there.
Yeah, right.
He's selling hats.
I see that. Yeah.
Well, hats are very helpful in the desert.
That's what I mean.
Now I took this here to prove I was there. Okay, now what you're seeing is St. George Monastery here. That's in the crevices. There's to the left of that monastery. If you were to, I couldn't get you the angle for it. I didn't go down there. I've been to monasteries before, but I didn't want to go down to this one. But there's actually to the left there. You can almost see if you bring that thing down a little bit, that arrow. It's just the arrow down a little bit. Right about there. There's a cave there, and then you have the monastery, and then around the edge there's another big entrance to it. So I've seen how it looks, but we're going to see a bigger picture the next view.
Nice. Ooh.
Okay, this gives you a little bit more perspective. You can see the cave entrance a little bit to the left, and you can see now. Notice if you move that arrow down a little bit more, go down, 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 down. There's a road right around there that comes in there that crosses. Okay.
Cool.
So that's a road actually, and you can get into the monastery that way. These monasteries are fascinating. Oh, by the way, did you hear recently that a lot of Egyptian, sort of like a Hamas kind of group, but not exactly that, but they were like a soldier group. But Egypt took away St. Catherine's Monastery from the Greeks.
Oh.
And I thought that's a bad scene. They made I know one of the monks there. He's actually from California. No, seriously, he is. He's a Californian. And he's been over there for several years.
Okay.
And they have precious manuscripts inside St. Catherine's Monastery. Anybody know the major Greek manuscript that was found in St. Catherine's Monastery?
No.
No.
Oh, you know that for sure. You're in the Sinai.
Oh,
Leviticus.
yes, that one.
This place, St. Catherine's in Egypt. The Sinaiticus, yes. Now, this right here is, I don't know anything much about it, so I'm not going to talk about what I don't know about. I know the name of it. You can look down in there when you're on the road and sort of get a perspective. Monasteries are very similar, except usually monasteries I've been at have been on sort of regular ground instead of you have to go down almost to a wadi to get into it.
Yeah.
But Jericho is unique in that regard. You have this one that's in the wadi there as you come up the Jericho Road to your left, but you also have another monastery near the actual site of the city of Jericho that's high on the hill. So that it's sort of different angles, and we'll look at that in a moment. This is Jericho from a distance. I'm trying to give you perspective again. You're coming down the highway, you can look out and you can see Jericho in the distance. Next. It gets closer as we move
closer.
I'm giving you perspective. Now, what you've got here is something that is as you're coming down the road there. This is closer to you than actually the site of what we think of as the city of Jericho, because who built a castle? Actually, castle's not the right word. Who built a palace in Jericho?
Wasn't it Herod?
Herod the Great. He was building palaces all over the country.
He sure was.
And why did he like building palaces?
He liked to talk about himself a lot.
Bored, nothing better to do.
Huh?
Bored and nothing better to do. We're just going to build a palace.
Actually,
he was a builder. That was one thing.
Herod built palaces various places because whenever he would travel, for example, he wanted to be close to a place that had soldiers and a big wall.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because people didn't like him.
He was a little paranoid, wasn't he?
He was always afraid of being assassinated.
A little paranoid, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And for example, when the three wise men, or however many there were, came to him and talked about this Messiah that's born in Bethlehem, he's afraid of the baby.
Yeah.
Not the baby at that time, but growing up, and actually he thinks he's going to live a lot longer and rule a lot longer. And the idea of someone who was maybe going to be able to take over, he just couldn't take it. But this is the beginning. They uncovered a lot of the palace there. We're going to look back in a moment to the left on these slides, and you'll also see he built. And I say this because it's almost incredulity, because Herod killed about everybody.
Yeah.
It's so amazing how he wiped out people in his family, but he didn't wipe out his mother. And so he actually built her a little palace up on top of the hill.
Oh.
And you go by that when you come down the road you ride on that I showed you. You keep riding down, you're going to ride right on the other side of this structure here, down the road that goes down into where Herod's palace is, down below. So him and mom didn't probably get along either. But at least he let her have a place there. So that's, you're in the desert, but these are structures. Now this is another look, see, from another little angle. You have an upward structure above there. Now keep moving and I want to show you some more. That's not a good one, but that actually is one that shows you the greenery of the place. Even though it's in the desert, there is still, we tend to think deserts, particularly maybe this is true in Saudi Arabia, maybe, but to be in the desert doesn't mean you go without rain.
Right.
Oftentimes they would have cloudbursts. But here we're looking into the city of of Jericho, and you also see portions of the castle or the palace that Herod built. And so the road keeps moving down right by it. And this is actually looking more from the top of the road out, looking at the city of Jericho with the mountains on the other side, which is in modern day Jordan on the other location. You can't really see the Jordan River here really, but this is a portion of the city of Jericho that you're looking at as you come down. Now, in the distance, you're going to see, and we're going to get close to it in just a moment, but in the distance, you're going to see Jericho. It's a big mound. Remember we talked about before how people in the ancient world
Oh yeah.
Way they, we have places. If there's a building going to need to be taken down, you don't just simply leave the rubble there. You actually take it all away, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the ancient world, they kept building and building on sites, and so, matter of fact, I don't know, Donald, you may know more about this than I do, but that if you look at Megiddo, it has, I don't know, maybe what is it, more than 20 uh, civilizations that have sort of lived there. I think it's a lot.
Hmm.
It's not like 10 or 12. It's close to that, if not more.
Wow. Yeah.
And so all these people built on top of one another, and you're getting a look at the city of Jericho from a distance. That's a repeat. So keep moving. Now, you can see, even though you have an ancient city like this, there are some modern events, or modern things occurring. You see this a lot in Israel among places that are desolate, in which they have to keep in contact with other people,
Sure.
And so here you have something that goes. Now these aren't for the what do you call those things? It's not gondola. What's the things?
Oh, the lifts.
The lifts that you
Some
have,
kind of
like
lifts.
Masada. Trying to
Yeah.
think of the word, but that's not what these are. Actually wires for communication. So they are in the modern era in one sense, and they're not in the other sense. I'm not suggesting these wires were there in the days of Jesus.
You sure?
Be sure you understand that that's not what I'm saying.
Yes.
But you can see the palace. You can see the palace up there above the mountain now. It's a better view.
So we can kind of see the outline of the walls around it.
Yeah, it's a real palace, just like you'd see in most of them. And the thing is, if you were on the other side, there's actually a road that goes up there, just a paved road that gets you to there. Now, I'm not saying it was paved in the days of Herod and his mother. This is a portion of the castle that's been uncovered so far. There was a fairly good size. I keep saying castle, but palace. Castle's more medieval, but the this is being recovered, and it's more and more and more. When I first started going here, it was just a piece of ground, just straight over, and now they've dug into it, and they're gradually uncovering it. This picture right here, though, I took probably 10, 15 years ago. Wow. So it's hard to say exactly what it looks like now. Another view in, and it's part of that construction or the uncovering of the land that's going on there that you see.
Wow.
Up close, a little bit closer, you see. These are only fragments of it. If you were there, there's a lot more around, but this is sort of, they're digging down. This looks to be like a staircase. It looks like.
It sure does.
Yeah. I'll tell you something interesting before we move on. This is a much bigger view of it.
Wow.
It's interesting. Herod knew that nobody liked him. I don't think anybody liked him.
Gee, I wonder why.
But I'm serious. But he was also he had paranoia.
Yeah.
That's why he built the Herodium as he did. He wanted a place he could escape to and have his soldiers up there and protect him.
Yeah.
So he built several places throughout Israel for areas of protection. And Donald, I'm not sure about this. I'm referring to you, and just in case you know, I'm not sure if Herod built where across the Jordan and the sea, the Salt Sea, there's where Antipas lived. That's where John was. Was that built by Herod the Great, or was that built later by maybe Antipas? I don't know. I just don't remember. But Herod made a thing that he actually had, thinking about he was getting closer to death. He made a ruling that when he died, and of course he was actually at the place in Jericho, and they removed him from and had caravan's not the right word, but it wasn't a parade either. That's not the right word.
A
But
procession?
Huh?
A procession?
A procession might be good.
Okay.
Yeah, leaving from there, covered by soldiers and others, and going up to Jerusalem on down and over, and finally to the Herodium.
Mm.
And he wanted to be sure that people honored his death,
Okay.
so that he actually had 100 of the prominent Jewish citizens chosen to be put to death at the time of his death,
Wow.
where people at least would be crying somewhere.
For those people.
They wouldn't be crying for him, but nonetheless, he did that. He was crazy.
Yeah.
But when he did that, it was rescinded by those who took over from Herod. So that never occurred.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
bullets.
this is an entrance into the site we call Jericho. Now, obviously, you can say the whole area is Jericho, but now we're talking about the location of the mound that did have these beautiful walls around that I gave you a picture of.
Right.
That actually the people from Israel finally were able to break into after the walls fell down.
So the original Jericho.
Yeah. But look at this with me just a moment.
Very nice.
This is a really nice area outside the entrance. If you were to actually just turn your sight just a little bit to the northeast there and look, if you could do this standing here, you'd see the entrance that they take your money and give you your ticket to get in.
So Elisha didn't found this fountain, did he?
Probably not.
You can see the hills in the back there, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this is a pretty area they put in. Actually, I think you buy your tickets across the way behind you where the store is, and you give your ticket here. So you go through a little gate, but it's a nice entrance. They have a lot of peacocks over there for some reason. Anybody seen peacocks at Jericho? Yeah, they got these little peacocks over there. They're really pretty. We're turning a right lane and going into the site.
All right.
Oh, there it is. This is
Is this picture you take it to?
Since I was going to take you actually into the so-called site of Jericho, I thought I would show you a picture that I found of the former times when it was. This would have been after. This wouldn't be the times of Joshua, but people they inhabited in Jericho in that area, even years later. So this is a painting that I did on the slide.
Gotcha.
Not really. I'm lying about it. Okay.
He's just telling a tall tale there, I think.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, here we go. Now we're to the place. I won't tell you who, but I know somebody who actually took a brick from the wall of Jericho back home with him.
What?
I'll not say who.
No.
But nevertheless, this is the mound, and it looks different. I mean, it just looks like a big mound, but actually there's all sorts of structure under this over time. And so we'll see some of the structure. Now, you've had some important people. You've had a man by the name of John Garstang who worked in there many years ago. You had a lady, something or other. Trying to think of her name. I know it. I just can't think of it right now. But Madam something from England, in which she said Garstang's thinking was wrong. And now the third archaeologist that's working over there is Bryant Wood. And Bryant Wood thinks that Garstang was right. So we're going up and down on this. It's the city was clearly in the time that Joshua would have come into the land. Anybody have an idea about the time that the Exodus occurred?
It was about
I think it was someone said like the 11th century BC,
somewhere around there, 12.
Well, some think maybe around
1450.
1440, 1450.
Yeah.
There.
1450.
Now you have different theories on the Exodus and when it occurred. Okay,
Right.
Some would say it's in the 1200s. Some say it would be in the 14th. Remember, we're going backwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going backwards to year one. We're not going forward. And
Right.
so I think it's around 1440, 45, someplace in there. Some would say 1250, some say 1295.
Mm-hmm.
But they spent a number of years. How many years in the desert?
40.
40.
About 40 years. The number 40 sort of fits, doesn't it?
40, yeah.
Mhm.
So 40 years. And so the people who came into the land were not the people, except for children, were not the people who left Exodus from Egypt.
Mm.
Okay. So looking at this, these are some houses there that you can look at and so forth at the site. There, people live all the way around this area. It's not just their home, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just that you have archaeological stuff in your midst. But that's the mound that actually would have been gone around, but it didn't look like that in days of Joshua.
Okay, so it's been built up since those days, right?
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, modernized a little bit. Yeah.
Another view is just you're closer to it, so you can have a different angle. Again, it's a mound. It's not like you see. Matter of fact, Tahamam over in Jordan is better in the sense of construction of the mound than this. This has decayed over a period of time, obviously from the time. What did Joshua and his men do after they took over the city?
They sacked it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they probably burned it.
Yeah.
And of course, they all the inhabitants were taken, and everything was dedicated to the Lord. And so somebody got in trouble because they wrote something on the side back home.
Oh, the loot, or some of the loot.
Yeah, that was a tragedy for those people because they for so little they got so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm saying those in the opposite way
Mm.
because they lost their lives because of it.
Sure did.
But anyway, this would be the mound that they went around. Let's move in closer.
Closer, closer.
Now, if you'll see those little bitty, looks like construction up there on the top right,
Mhm.
that's for, sitting out of the sun. But it also lets you look across the land quite easily. And you can't see it here, but that place that you have that really pretty area with a little pool there and so forth. And I said, you actually go in and you climb up, and finally you find yourself at the level of those little bitty buildings that are there. They're little, like what would you call those? Not porches, but
I want to say
yeah, I can't think of that.
not gazebos, but maybe, I don't know.
No, that's not the word either. But whatever it is, you know what I'm saying. You get in there and you sit down, relax, and be out in the shade. Anyway, the entrance and the stairways that goes up as you're going there goes to that level that you're looking at right there.
Mm.
I'm just trying to give you a feel for being there as much as I can.
Okay. Wow.
Now, this is a picture. I was in a balloon flying above this, and took the picture. You bet you I did. By the way, I've actually done when I was in the down at Eilat in the southern portion of Israel to the sea that's there. Let's just leave that on a moment. I got my story to tell. I've been there many times to Eilat, and oftentimes doing that when we're going to go over and see Petra. But if you go out on the lake there, or the sea actually, at Eilat, you'll be in sometimes a big boat, but around will come these smaller boats to you, and if you pay the money, you could get into that, and they would take you out and give you one of these things you hold on to, and you have this figure, this balloon-like figure above you, and you travel up, and I actually flew around the Red Sea there.
What?
That I was so courageous, I couldn't believe it because I hate heights. But if I fall in the sea. That's not like concrete is. I don't know.
Well, it depends on how you are.
But I really didn't take this picture because I wouldn't want to. Where did our picture go? I'm talking about it. Stay still. Now,
Yes, I will.
so you can see that there's part of the modern world there,
Yeah.
and you have these roads that are like you would have had like on a highway, and they're on the left too. But in that little area there is an archaeological find, and that's people live around it.
Huh.
Commerce goes on. It's into,
Apparently.
and so that's what we're looking at now. You're actually looking at the southern portion. If you were to you go on the other side up there, there's a little building we'll show you in a minute. But that is the top of Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready now?
Yeah. I have no idea what that is. But I
It's
think that's a
a
picture.
subdivision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure you put
Yeah.
that in. I don't remember putting that in there. That's a portion of that section we looked at earlier where they're doing the archaeology. So that's not the mound there. Just keep moving.
Okay.
Sure how they got that in there. Now, inside the city is what you're looking at now. They have dug inside this mound, the tail, as we call it, tail, and they begun to uncover things inside the tail. So that's what they're digging here. You're looking not only for buildings and so forth. You're looking for ornaments. You're looking for weapons, anything you can use and get information about the time that you're talking about in the middle of the 15th century BC. So they have lots of these there where you build and you can see where the people walk around, but they also have dug all the way down here. It's a lot of work to do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Continue on. I'll show you another section of it. This is an actual tower that they found. Now the tower used to be taller than this. But this is actually a tower that would have been at Jericho, and they probably had several towers around the city for protection. And this is one. But notice to the right, what do you see that's interesting?
Little steps.
Stairs.
Yeah, the stairs. Yeah, I thought that's interesting. If they uncovered those and what that would deal with, I really don't know. But I've never really.
Who would want to walk there? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know I don't think it helps you to get across to the other, but you could maybe jump it. I don't know.
Oh,
But they've dug down that far in this area.
wow.
It's another view of it.
It's pretty deep, yeah.
There are some really great archaeological sites that have a lot of things that are much more understandable in looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho is not one of them because it was a mud brick. Okay, decayed easier, compressed probably over time. It doesn't provide some of the niceties of some archaeological study. Anybody here doing some work at Shiloh at all? They actually like recruits who want to go up and help out. Shiloh's another thing being worked on right now. And that was where the ark was originally placed, so it left Shiloh eventually and found its way to the temple in the days of Solomon. So there's other things to say about Shiloh, but you can get involved in an archaeological excavation. It's sort of fun. You just need to, give a few weeks of your summer or something or spring, and get over there and learn some more about it. But you can see all the mud brick. This is how the city was. We don't think of that. And we think more of big stones and so forth, which became later, but not at this period of time.
Yeah. Very different.
Just another showing, different angle. They probably found a lot of stuff in here because I've never really checked in the museums for Jericho. But when you have a structure like this, you're always going to have some things preserved. Now, you won't have things that can be decayed and turn into dust like here as much, but you're going to find certain kinds of things made of stone. They wouldn't have had probably anything like iron or steel, but they would have had other things made of things that could be like clay, probably. So
pottery?
Anyway,
any kind of pottery?
some kind of pottery, those kinds of things. They also have bricks here that you can get. They're selling them, 15 cents a piece. Okay, that's good.
Sure thing.
Another angle, but the reason I took this one for you to show you
40.
is that this is at the very beginning of going up on the mound. You can't see it here, but there are stairs, and what you're looking at now is a building
Hmm.
that you can go in and eat. You see a bus there. This is a
Oh, like a tourist center.
they have phenomenal. The guy who's in the kitchen there at this
Yeah.
place really knows how to cook certain forms of
Cool.
meals. I mean, he just does a good job. I mean, it's
Nice.
a place to eat. I've even gone from Jerusalem to Jericho just to go eat there.
Ah,
But when you go here, you're going to be able to. We're going to show you something in a minute. From here, you turn right. See the camels?
yeah.
Can't see any peacocks, but I guarantee they're there. But if you turn right and look, we're going to show you something else in just a
There's
moment.
Sally the camels there. Oh,
Remember, I told you this is called the Monastery of the Temptation of Christ.
wow. They got names for everything.
The reason why they use that term is because Jesus was tempted by Satan in the desert.
Ah,
Now, I don't think there's anything left behind here, like a marking on the wall by Christ. I was here,
yeah.
something like that.
Right, right,
I don't think the devil probably wrote he was here.
right.
So I'm not sure why you could, but we're talking about going back all the way into the 2nd century,
Yeah,
people
why?
believing this was the place of the temptation.
Huh.
So I don't know whether it is true or not, but this is a monastery. You can actually get off of one of the things that take you across and get off and walk through that. It's a nice monastery.
They probably said close enough.
The next one will show you hold it.
Well,
Go back one more.
One more?
Back.
Yeah. What happened to my wires?
Wires.
Okay, go for it again.
Maybe
I
they're
know.
coming
I
up.
thought sure I put 2 of these in because I left one in deliberately where you could see. Let me get my glasses on. Can you see that? There's actually you can see like what they used to call a gondola or something that will actually take you from where that restaurant is and take you up the hill all the way to get off and go, and you can go through this after that.
Oh, I don't see any
So that's
wires.
what you're looking at.
Okay.
But I guess I just didn't leave in the second one.
We'll just pretend they're there.
All right, let's keep going then. That's a
So
monastery of the temptation of Christ.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
So I've been looking here. It says that Jericho's like the oldest continuously inhabited city. And now it says it's also the lowest city in the world. And I'm thinking, why would
It
that's
is.
like two
yeah.
strange things, you know?
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, well.
I think you're right on that. It is actually on the. If you recognize the Salt Seas there,
Mm-hmm.
and the Jordan River's there. These are going to the east of the city, and going down and going into, and that is actually right on the level of the earth there. That is considered the lowest place around.
Yeah.
And you've seen a little of it from where we've been going up and coming down.
Mm.
But even that is not good enough. See, because when I took you from the camel, that actually was also way, 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 way down toward the Dead Sea area.
Hmm.
So even with that, it's very, very low. Jerusalem's very high in comparison. Jerusalem's in the mountain area. That's why, for example, the people who the ancient Philistines had difficulty. They had iron weapons and chariots, and they couldn't come up and do much in Jerusalem because it required them to climb the mountain.
Yeah.
So the elevation here is important between the city of Jerusalem and the city of Jericho.
It says approximately 846 feet below sea level. It's supposed to be that's true, the lowest city on earth.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
And I like Jericho. I've been around, walked around all over there.
Mm.
By the way, I deliberately put this on there. I'm going to see if you can tell me what kind of tree is that.
That is a very large tree.
olive tree?
There's a story about a man in Jericho who wanted to see Jesus, and he was a short guy.
Zacchaeus.
Mr. Z. Mr. Z.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He climbed the sycamore tree
The sycamore tree.
Ah.
Yeah.
and looked down at Jesus, and Jesus said, "Come down. I want to spend my day with you." Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He takes this guy. He's a wealthy guy, but he's really intrigued by Jesus. And Jesus said, "Zacchaeus, come down. I will eat with you today." And that's
Cool.
an interesting story. And this is a sycamore tree. But actually, if you look carefully, I think I'm right on this. Let me get my glasses on. Yes, I am right. I thought this was the one. If you look in this real close, it looks like a man and a woman
Oh yeah.
who are actually
Okay.
standing on
Here's-
the limbs.
Oh, there they are.
There's a man right there, and here's a.
Isn't that interesting?
There's Zacchaeus and his wife. I
But this is a very common.
That's Zacchaeus and his wife.
I don't know. I don't know if they're husband and wife, but I do know it's a very famous place that people who come to visit Jericho, many people like to climb up there because they know the story of Zacchaeus.
Yeah. That's probably why.
So that's why you see that as you do.
That's pretty cool.
Well, we've got a short time. Let's keep moving. I'm going to show you something else that has nothing to do with Jericho, because I knew this is my last talk until we take it over again late March, when I'll be dealing with the teaching of archaeology and Jesus, focusing eventually into the death of Christ, the crucifixion, death of Christ, the resurrection of Christ, and also I'm going to talk about the Shroud of Turin at that time. I won't tell you what I'm doing in that area, but it's something I'm working on.
So are you going to do that today? Because we're not going to be back here for a while.
That's all in April. Now it says next week, but keep moving. I want to just show you the area. Can you now see where things are? You know where the Salt Sea is, the Dead Sea. You know this. You can see up above. You can see that that's the River Jordan coming from Bet Shean. Not Bet Shean, but coming from the area of the Galilee up there near Magdala and so forth. And you come on down to the top of the Dead Sea, and going to the left, you're going to have Jericho a little bit to the left to the north, and then Jerusalem straight across. That's what you see there. Now let's keep moving. So we're going to be at Qumran. Yeah, that's not a good picture. Go on. We're at Qumran. This is actually, we're moved into Qumran. I'm not going to be able to say a lot about this. I've actually taught on this in an archaeological museum in California a while back, and that was really fun. But
we did look at this in a previous week as well.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you some things.
Okay.
This, if you look here in these various caves, you have cave 1, cave 2, 3, 4, 5. They have all these caves, and that people actually got into. And you can tell cave 1. I don't think I told you this. If you walk across the top, there's flat ground, sort of high. You have a wadi below. You walk across here at the top. See the top area?
Mm-hmm.
And then you walk on down, and you actually can get into the cave by doing that. You walk across down that little path and down into the cave. And that's where they found the majority of the most important manuscripts, including the Isaiah scroll.
Very cool.
So let me show you a few more things in Qumran. Because I'm taking you from Qumran one of these days, I'll try to take you over to Masada and so forth. But this is, again, see how things are dug out? You've already seen dug out areas down in Jericho.
Right.
You always see this. Tahamam, the same thing. You always create these little squares. They're not quite square, rectangles, but you find things that way. You can set things aside, take pictures, measure things. Very important to follow this process in archaeology. It's very time consuming though. And you can see where you are here and go to the far, almost straight north from there. That's where those caves were we were showing just a moment ago in the wadi. Okay, continue. Another example, I just want to give you some perspective on Qumran here. The reason I'm mentioning this because it's by the Dead Sea. It's just south of Jericho. It's just up the road. And this is a very important place that people came before the time of Christ and during the time of Christ. So these different rooms have different functions by the people who were living at Qumran. You can see the plateau though that goes. You can see the plateau that goes all the way out. Can you see that? A few people walking. There's that little thing at the top is not a car or anything. It's a place that has a shade again.
Shelter.
And if you were standing at that shade and looking out the wadi, you'd see the cave one again where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. Cool. Now, one other thing about this for your information, if you go farther out from that, that's where Randall Price was digging and seeking to find some of the things that would be at Qumran that hadn't been discovered yet. And he did find a few little things that were interesting. Okay, continue. I'm watching my minutes. I got 5 of them. One other thing to say about Qumran is that there are actually 3 locations for the Essenes. One is at Qumran that we just got through looking at. That's where a lot of these Essenes lived, and they had a very messianic view of Messiah coming, and they largely were just all men. That's pretty well conclusive. And they lived an existence in the desert and just basically copied manuscripts. And fortunately, they did that because we have Hebrew manuscripts go way back because of it.
Right.
And also, but in the city of Jerusalem, they also had a Essene community. They were not the desert, but they lived in Jerusalem, and they carried on some of the similar kind of Essene practices, which were Hasidic. This says the gate of the Essenes there, one of the gates of the city. Now keep moving. I'll show you more. So that's the Essene community. Even came into Jerusalem. It also went to Syria. Wow. Go ahead. It went to Syria, and they had an Essene community in Syria. This just gives you a top out looking at the various places in there. You can see where the Temple of Jupiter was in the top right. That's what happened after Hadrian. Right. You had where we have the Church of the Holy Sepulchre today. That's where the temple to, excuse me, I'm getting that mixed up in my head. The Temple of Jupiter dealt with where the Temple Mount was with the temples that was destroyed. But I was going to point to the far left where it says the gate of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And that's where the temple to Aphrodite was, the goddess of love. And then you had also in Bethlehem, another religious site built by Hadrian, where the Church of the Nativity is. So I always say it's interesting. Hadrian thought he had done away with the religion of Christianity. He was an emperor in right at the turn of the century. He thought he did away with Christianity because he covered over the Church of Holy Sepulchre. Of course, there wasn't a church there, but there was a site of the resurrection, and then you have the temple there to Jupiter, doing away with the Jewish deity, and then he did this in Bethlehem. But the thing is, X marks the spot. The places he marked, you had to. Why did you mark those? Because it was a practice in the ancient world that when you conquered a people, you would actually build things over their religious sites, demonstrating that your God is better than their God.
Right.
That was a regular practice that occurred. So these spots have been marked in the history of the city of Jerusalem. So those are pretty cool.
Very interesting.
And anyway, we can sort of stop with that. I just want to
and that's what it says. Stop here.
Stop here. Whoa.
How convenient.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you, I hope you've had some fun with this. I tried to make it more than just teaching like I would maybe in an area like in an audience where you have a big conference or something. To make it a little more fun of doing archaeology. Archaeology is really great. You ought to try it sometime. There are many times people can go over. Arena and me went over to Tahamam a number of times, and also Shiloh. So those are all available sometimes. They've closed down Amman now, but they've opened up other areas like Shiloh, which looks really good.
Cool.
Any other questions?
No.
When we come back late March, we're going to start learning about Jesus and archaeology. I'm going to show you a lot of evidence for the historicity of Jesus all the way to his issue of his crucifixion and resurrection. And I want to talk a little bit about the Shroud of Turin at that point.
Awesome.
Did
So,
we cover the place Jesus was baptized? Because it showed on the map that it was not far from Jericho, but there was a lot of structure there.
it's fairly close to Qumran, probably, or Jericho, probably. But and people, you have to realize what happens in the ancient world. Oftentimes they will say it's here, it's here, it's here. You have to have some more proof besides saying it's here. And so, with Jesus's baptism, if they had to build a big building there, maybe
Yeah.
it maybe had some kind of evidence, but the water just keeps flowing, And so Jesus, you can say Jesus was somewhere in the Jordan River.
Right.
There you go.
All right. God bless you all. Hope to see you again late March for some more.
Yeah.
You-
Second.
Don't forget Donald Williams next week, talking about everything he knows about J. Gresham Machen.
Uh-huh.
Well, about progressives through the eyes of J. Gresham Machen
Yeah.
and Donald Williams. And of course, I will interfere from time to time just because I can.
There you go.
And Don, fortunately, puts up with me just like Wayne does. So that's a good thing.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Wayne. It was good.
Really, really well.
Love you
All right.
guys.
For
Yeah.
everyone out there,
Love
we're
you.
going to be signing off. Get the book, Christianity and Liberalism, J. Gresham Machen. It was published originally in 1923. You can get good, solid copies of it today. Amazon.com. You can get PDFs of it online. Or email us, and we'll make sure you can get a copy. But you want to read it. It's not long. You have an introduction and 6 chapters.
Sounds
So
good.
it'll be
The
about
names have been changed to protect the guilty, but the deviations from orthodoxy
Yeah.
are
remain the same.
exactly the same today that he was dealing with back then.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Makes sense.
All righty.
Okie doke.